Hey guys, welcome back to another action figure review. Today we have a new figure from the latest release of Cosmic Legions, from series 1 of the OxKrewe wave, a mysterious figure called Kurnn Ray. Featuring a green and purple box with a large open window, we can see Kurnn Ray and all of her accessories inside along with the Cosmic Legions logo on the box. The back of the box is completely covered by a massive checklist of figures showing a small picture of each character. On the side we have a small picture of Kurnn Ray, with a few short paragraphs on the lore of the character and how she ties in with the rest of the figures of the series. The series lore is here on the side, explaining the OxKrewe's lore from series 1. Like most Mythic Legion style figures, the boxes are collector friendly and easy to remove from the bottom, allowing you to slide out the entire plastic tray in one pull, without having to rip anything open. Starting off a new series in the Cosmic Legion story, Book 1 of the OxKrewe series revolves around the crashed spaceship and the remaining 6 OxKrewe survivors defending themselves from unknown threats of this planet. With the spaceship crashing down onto the planet, it alerted many of the local wildlife, scavengers, and raiders. While some of the more wild creatures of this planet immediately attacked, Kurnn Ray stays in the shadows and watches and studies the ship's crash site. Spotted, she makes her retreat into a hiding spot and uses her old heavy equipped communications gear to send a signal back to her people. "Intruders here, come get," is the message sent back, calling in for reinforcements from her settlement Scape Haven, a group that searches the wastelands for resources, taking what they need to survive. Let's look at some of the details. First up, we have that massive mechanical head, featuring a large black camera lens at the center of the helmet. Robotic looking, the oval shape of the helmet features small panels, linings, and grooves in the sculpting, with multiple camera lenses, ports, and scratched up textures on its black matte colored metal. Hanging underneath the mouth area is a large breathing tube, sculpted with large ridges in the tube. On the side we can see how the rebreather attaches to the gunmetal gray canister of the left side of the helmet. A little bit of blue can be seen on the side of the helmet in this area, darkened and dirty by all the grime weathering of the paint. Taking a look at the other side of the head, here we have a large antenna sticking out towards the back, with more wiring and camera lens equipment attached to this side. The back of the head shows a smooth finish, with all the layers of machinery neatly forming into the end of this oval shaped head, with more dark weathering giving off an oily, grimy finish to all the paint. A large neck collar is worn on top of the chest, blue and dark gray, both are heavily stained by a dark wash of black, and secured to the body by 4 large bronze screws. Underneath we have a smooth brown leather tunic, sleeveless, strapped onto the collar with blue belts, with a few wrinkles and panel lines sculpted onto the body. The classic Mythic Legion shoulder sockets and backpack sockets are sculpted into the back, that will be covered up later in this review. The brown leather tunic is continued on the back with a few details like more cosmetic ports, panel linings, and holes in the sculpting. The bare shoulders feature a reptile-like pattern in the skin, with dark tan skin having waves of darker gray stripes giving a camouflaged look. The biceps are sculpted with a bit of muscle tone, showing off large bulges in the sculpt. Dark blue cloth is sculpted wrapped around the wrist, where we have black padded leather gloves detailed with a rough leather texture and small rivets dotted at each corner of the back of the hand. A large silver square buckle secures the blue tactical belt onto the body, surrounded by worn out brown leather bags, each strapped onto the belt with blue clasp. Underneath, small plates of blue armor hang under the belt, detailed with damaged chipped paint towards the sides, and small plates of orange armor bolted on top. Underneath we have a cloth canvas style green tunic, separated into 3 sections, splitting off at the middle. Towards the bottom, the edges of the cloth is stained with a dusty orange sand effect, getting noticeably more dirtier towards the bottom. At the sides we have a better look at the armor protecting the hips. More brown leather pouches are attached to the belt, and battle damage to the armor can be seen here. The back of the belt has one final large leather bag, where we can see the split of the cloth canvas tunic at the center here at the back, showing off some of the blue armored backside of the character. Flipping the tunic upwards, we can see the bright orange military style pants, sculpted in a heavy cloth texture where we can see the bumpy texture of the cloth and large wrinkles in the sculpt giving off a realistic cloth appearance. Most of the lower legs is completely covered up by the large brown leather boots. The leather is folded downward at the top, forming a cuff that's sculpted with a rough leather texture and heavy wrinkles sculpted towards the ankles. We wrap up the detail of the figure with the boots. A dark brown leather boot with a light cracked leather texture effect with a few leather sections forming the front and back of the boot. Let's take a look at the articulation. Starting off with such a large head, we have the standard Mythic Legion ball jointed neck that can rotate left and right and slightly pivot side to side with minimal upward and downward motion. Moving on to the shoulders, we have arms that open out and rotate all around, elbows that twist and bend just about 90 degrees before the sculpt starts hitting each other, forearms that rotate, wrists that rotate and bend up and down depending on what wrist version is installed. Just like all the 1.0 style Mythic Legion bodies, we have no chest crunch or anything like that. Only a ball joint at the waist that allows rotation and bending up until you start hitting that large belt. While we can move the cloth out of the way and the belt is made of a soft plastic, this area will hinder some of the leg range of motion. Starting off with a thigh that rotates, and legs that open just until the armor and cloth start pushing back. We can get more range if we really pushed it, but that would start to bend the armor a bit. Moving the legs straight back is blocked by the butt sculpt, where we will not be able to get a full range of backward motions, only towards the sides. Knees that bend and rotate. There's no articulation at the lower leg, even though the sculpt might give it that appearance. Ankles that bend up and down and rotate, and a foot that twists. Cosmic Legions are the futuristic side of Mythic Legions by 4 Horsemen Studios. Being a 1/12 scale figure, they are modular and you can swap out parts with other figures of the same body type. Here we have him compared to other Cosmic Legion figures, and while the bulkiness of the armor changes, the sizes and height mostly stay in line with each other. Mythic Legions fit in very well with this series and are compatible with each other's parts. Usually, Cosmic Legions are a lot bulkier, giving them a larger profile compared to Mythic Legions, but overall they're the same scale and shape. Hasbro is at the 1/12 scale as well, but here we can see how they're much more thinner and smaller than what Cosmic Legions have to offer. Across multiple series of figures, Hasbro scales up just a bit smaller. Jada Toys is also in the 1/12 scale, being about half a head's worth shorter and being noticeable when compared to each other. Storm Collectibles' Storm Arena figures are also scaled in 1/12, and just like Jada Toys, have about half a head's worth shorter, making Cosmic Legions look much larger. McFarlane does have their own figures in that special 7-inch scale. Compared to Cosmic Legions, we can just about notice how much larger this scale is, and while Cosmic Legions doesn't look too out of place next to human-sized figures, the styles can be a bit different. Import collectors looking for more alien-style figures will find that most import figures are much smaller. Here, Snail Shell's Milk Tea Girl is much thinner and smaller than bulky Cosmic Legions. And just to throw in a Figma, Tracer is absolutely tiny compared to Cosmic Legions. Starting off with the accessories, we'll take a look at the coat. Removing it requires you to unfasten the belt. It's tied like a real belt, so it does require some finesse to remove, so just take your time. Once the belt is removed, you can now undress the figure's coat, requiring you to remove the hands to slide them off. Once the hands are removed, the coat now slides off easily, revealing the painted body and cloth tunic underneath with all the other details of this figure. The coat is a fine piece of cloth goods, and that belt having an actual metal buckle, metal wiring in the edges of the front and the jacket, and even a microfiber style cloth on the inside. Do be warned that the inside of the jacket isn't properly stitched in all the way. It might just be an issue with my jacket only, but pulling the jacket off by force might tear it open here at the arms. We also have cuts in the back for the shoulder armor and the backpack slot. The holes are kinda ugly, but will be covered up anyways. The cloth jacket also fits onto other Legion type figures, preferably those with a smaller body type or just figures without more bulky chest armor. We have an alternate head with an alien style face and long blue dreadlocks. Those familiar with Mythic Legions know that head swaps are super easy to do. You just pop off the original and then socket in the new alternate head. The hair is a soft plastic that rests perfectly on top of the armor. The alternate head is the unhelmeted version of Kurnn Ray, featuring a dark tan skin color similar to what we see on the bare shoulders and that added gray wave stripe camouflage effect. With solid black eyes, a strange flat alien nose, and 2 lips with a different color skin tone, this figure resembles a slightly alien looking human. On the back of the head we can see more details from the rough textured skin, pointed elf-like ears, and a better look at those blue dreadlocks. Large locks of neon blue hair are combed to the back and set in a ponytail style, where the strands of hair separate and rest on the shoulders of the figure. We have a pair of shoulders, 2 plates of brown leathery pads filled with gray machinery, black tubing, straps, and other bits. Like all Legion figures, installing the shoulders is as simple as pegging into the shoulder socket. Heating up the shoulder socket makes this process a lot easier. Afterwards, you can rotate the shoulders up and down for added range on the shoulders. We have a communications backpack in different shades of blue, teal, and copper. We have 2 ports on each side and an ammo port at the bottom. We have a small antenna for that backpack, a small rod with copper and gray highlights. The small peg on the side of the antenna sticks into either port on the sides of the backpack. Once fully assembled, we can now slot in that backpack with the shoulder armor included thanks to that extra long peg. It perfectly fits into the rectangle peg on the back and fits in securely. We have a bladed staff with the tan colored wrapping around the handle and a claw-like blade at the top with bits of machinery all over it. The blade section can be removed from the staff to swap out any other toppers if you had any. We have a set of gripping hands matching the style of the original with joints that bend left and right, and that exact same pair of hands except with joints to bend upward and downward. A small futuristic set of binoculars, colored green and silver with a long black strap made of a soft plastic. And lastly, a brown leather ammo belt, similar to the classic Mythic Legion's belt but decorated with bullets. What a perfect mix of cloth goods and an amazingly detailed sculpt. 4 Horsemen did an absolutely great job on this figure, perfectly using everything they have learned to create a unique sci-fi looking figure. I have to say I am very impressed with this figure. As a longtime toy collector, I've seen premium 1/6 scale figures from ThreeA that incorporate some slick futuristic styles with weathered cloth accessories, and I immediately got that vibe from Kurnn Ray. Between the amazing sculpt, great paint, and use of cloth fabric, this is one of my favorite figures. It has so much character with a unique look that really fits in well with Cosmic Legions. What's even more amazing is that once you remove the coat, there's an entire painted and detailed body underneath, including even more cloth accessories. With the alternate alien head, it's a completely different figure from wearing the coat or taking it off. There is so much to display value to this figure, you can really take advantage of the part swapping Cosmic Legions has to offer. While the figure is a bit light on weapons, only coming with 1 blade staff, I can only assume that the budget went to that amazing jacket this figure comes with, and that unique antenna backpack. One more thing to point out is that Legion type figures aren't really known for their articulation, and that added jacket covering up the entire figure does restrict most of the action type poses you're going to get out of it. It's not a deal breaker for me, but these figures do feel bulky and chunky, especially with that full body coat. Just an amazing figure overall. I really do get that 1/6 style art figure type of vibe off of Kurnn Ray, and that speaks for the quality of this figure. With such high quality details and cloth goods, this figure is really putting to shame a lot of other toy brands that sell at a similar price. A great figure, multiple ways to display her, and with Cosmic Legions being modular, she's a great base for a custom as well. You definitely do not want to miss out on this figure, and she's my favorite figure of the year. Alright guys, that's it for this review. Leave a comment letting me know how you like this figure, subscribe, or share this video with your friends to help out the channel.